This makes it all worthwhile. A kettle fire, right after a long day in the field. Well, hello everyone and welcome to the Stover Farm channel. I'm so glad to have you here with us for episode 3 of Farm, the entire map in Meadowlands, Wisconsin. Just came up to the house. I needed a little refresher, had some nice sweet tea that Meg made, and it has hit the spot. Delish. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We are farming the entire map in Meadowlands, Wisconsin. What does that even mean? Well, it's no man's land, and we've got fields everywhere. Hundreds of acres and one farm that is ours. So it's a pretty cool series. We're running this as close to realistic as possible. We're keeping tabs on the bank account. We're doing things that you do on a farm to slow the game down, make it more enjoyable. We're not worried about productions, we're worried about farming. So come and farm with me. Let's do this. It's been a couple of days, I think, since we last met, and well, here's what's been going on. First, we did finish up the one cornfield, so we had 2 additional fields we had to finish cutting corn. I got that done. It's been a lot of back and forth in the cart, to the truck, from the truck to the pit, to the pit, to the dryer. Just back and forth, back and forth. We finished about 160 bushel an acre on that field. And that is about a 38 acre field. We've got one more to do. We've got about a 40 with probably similar yield there. So I've moved all the equipment to that final field. But I've also been, working on Fall Tillage. So I got the tile all complete and finished. And that really just contoured field that we have that's got that really big face that is exposed to the wind. So the tile is in there, and I've been just doing some fall tillage on that. I'm going to hit one of those tile inlets, I know. And then we have miles of paths, so vehicle paths, that I like to keep trimmed down. They get overgrown during the summer, and right in the fall when the grass is starting to calm down, I like to get the mower out and just mow those center areas to make them easier to see. Not even close to being done with those. But that's really what's been going on. And, I mentioned I went and got, a nice cool beverage from Meg, and she said that the horses might need a little feed. So I'm going to run over here real fast and feed the horses before... What? Wait, hold on. What's that, Meg? Meg's tapping me on the shoulder. Yeah, I know I bought something. Okay, so, yeah, So I bought something. I was over at the supermarket, and there was just some local guy that had a Kenworth for sale in the parking lot. I bought it. So it's actually over at MB Dyson right now. They're doing kind of a pre-purchase inspection on it. Only $22,000. I thought it was spectacular. It's a K100. Let's feed these horses a couple of bags of oats and then teleport over to the dealership and see if they're done with that pre-purchase inspection, and maybe we can fire that bad boy up and bring it over here. So I teleported over here because, what am I saying? I know I'm going to buy the darn thing. I don't care if it's, got a thrown rod or what. I got a thing for cabovers. I absolutely love them. And MB Dyson, they're not going to steer me in a wrong direction. This is our dealership, if you saw us build this. And thanks to all the channel members that voted on the name of this place, MB Dyson. That stands for Miles Bennett Dyson Equipment and Machine, after the late and great Miles Bennett Dyson from a wonderful movie back in the day, Terminator 2. If you know, you know. But thanks for everyone that voted on that. And they've got the K100 in here. I should probably come over here real fast. It's really nice of them to just let me run through their shop. They know that I'm a local, and I'm not gonna like fall down and injure myself and then sue. This is it. So this is the K100, actually just released about a day ago by modder Crownzilla. It is PC and Mac only. I apologize. I know I try and do all platform mods, but this was one I could not pass up. Again, I got a thing for cabovers, and the detail on this thing is spectacular. This is a public mod. It's available on his itch.io page. I will link it down in the description where you can find it. Beautiful tractor, cabover tractor. Let's put the cab down. Oops, I don't want to get my chainsaw out and cut it, but interactive controls. Beautiful. Click right there. Doors open. Tons and tons of detail. Very, very cool. Let me close the door. First, you know, before I'm like, hold on, let me just go and talk real fast before I like start putting my grubby hands all over it. Let's come up here and talk to the guys, just make sure it's good to go, and I'll actually send the deposit over. I don't. It's going to take out of the bank account. We'll pay cash for it. Hey guys, yeah, we're good. The truck is great. No issues. It's good to go. So 22.8 is a good deal. Okay, you're representing it for him. Okay. All right. Well, hold on. I'll give you the money. Let's go ahead and wire you the money. So that was 22.8 was the purchase price, and then about 500. Let's just do a rounded 23.8. Is that fair? You guys are great to me. So we're going to take 23.8 out. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's mine. I got the keys. So there you go. No way to really, you know, correctly manage money the way I want to manage money in this particular scenario that we're doing. So I'm doing a lot of this manually. I'll show you the bank account on my app. We just did a online transaction to pay for this beautiful truck, and here is what my bank account currently looks like. So we're doing great. We sold like 90 grand worth of milk not long ago. We've still got all of our grain to sell, and things are really, really doing well. So here's this truck. Amazing detail. And you'll notice all of the interactive controls that are here. So like you can hit the lights and they will turn on, and we can fire it up. Yeah. We can open the door. We can roll the window down. What else can we do? I can turn the radio on, but I don't want to, you know, have any copyright worries. You can see the bunk in the back. A very swanky yellow tan. Ooh, yeah. But just an awesome truck. Let's pull it out. Now, it's listed as being a 671. So that would be a six-cylinder Detroit two-stroke. And the sounds are very much Detroit. But if we do hop out, it does look like it has a cat in it. And look, I don't care. The amount of detail that Crownzilla has put into this, it does not matter. You can see the engine shaking there. We've got the radiator fan, the little bevels, not bevels, but louvers in the front. They're actually got their transparency. You can see through them. So cool. Yeah, definitely a cat, but that's okay. What a cool truck. Let's take it out on the road real fast. I need to take that for sale sign off because it is definitely mine. And let's see how this thing runs. It looks like it's got a... So it's got a 16 speed in it. So 8 forward with high and low on... Well, it's a 16 speed. Oh, yeah. So these Detroits, they are revvers. If you've ever Googled or YouTubed, yeah, listen to that. Oh, she's a running son of a gun, I'll tell you that. Got a little stuttering there. I probably need to do a shader cache reset, but listen to that. Oh, I don't want to run the stop sign. Well, Sheriff Tom Bonelli will be out. He'll give me a ticket. I don't even have it registered. Okay, here we go. Let's pull out onto US 32. She is a screaming Detroit, that's for sure. Alright, runs about 75 mile an hour in top end. Oh yeah, it smooths out great. Machine has got some power. We all the way, man, we already ran 32 out. We're out here on Black Rock Road. That's okay. Ooh, the Jakes sound good too. What a cool truck. I've got a Freightliner that I pull the bale trailer with. I don't know what the heck I'm going to use this for, but way too cool to... Let's get her out in the field. I own this field. What the heck? Yes. Nice movement in the suspension. What a cool truck. And the Detroit, I was talking about the Detroit and I got distracted because I thought it was, you know, we're going for a ride. Two-stroke diesels, they just sound like they are screaming. And that's because they're really, for every normal stroke that you would get in a four-stroke engine, you're getting double the amount of combustion because it's a two-stroke. Now, the Detroits were supercharged. They always had to have a supercharger on them. That's how you get a two-stroke diesel to actually function. And then a number of Detroits had turbochargers on them. Some of them twin turbocharged. And the Detroit 6 and 8V series engines were probably some of the most well-known two-stroke diesel engines in the world. Very, very cool, and just an absolute distinct sound coming from them. So I'm really happy with this purchase. Let's get back to the farm and back out here to Black Rock Road, and maybe we'll take it easy. I don't want Meg to get mad at me. I did kind of buy this spur of the moment, you know, and I don't know what you have agreements with your wives or husbands or significant others that you have. What limit do you have for when you're supposed to tell your significant other you bought something? This was 22.8, and I definitely should have told her, but I didn't. But she's fine with it because, again, it's been a really good season so far. So I'm just going to head back to the farm here. Let's let this Detroit sing, and I'm going to shut up so you can hear it. So there you have it. You see I've got two beautiful old school cabovers, a Freightliner and this K100 Kenworth. I've noticed a significant amount of stuttering as I'm driving the truck, so I don't know if, you know, it's a fairly large mod with a ton of details, so I don't know if that's going to be something that I have to either deal with and or, I don't know. I hate stuttering. I hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. I get the game running so well, and then, you know, you add a mod sometimes, and it's not the mod, it's not the modder, it's a spectacular mod. Just using my system, it could be another mod that I've got installed. I don't know, but you can see the two of these trucks side by side. Two very, very cool cabovers. The K100 Kenworth by Crownzilla, and over on the right side, the Freightliner by Whiskey Sierra Modding. This is another very cool truck. It's running simple IC, whereas the Kenworth is running IC. But you hop in the up to my end, yeah, and then some of the Freightliner. Freightliner's got a 3406 CAT in it, also very, very detailed, and just a very, very cool truck. But you know, one thing again, I hate, absolutely hate it, stuttering. So we'll have to just leave those there, and we'll see if you know, maybe I can't have the Kenworth. I don't know. I hope not. Alright, well, that purchase is down. Spectacular sound coming out of that Detroit. Let's run over, and I think I would like to hop in the 8370 and finish doing some tillage over here on this field where I just put in the tile. And I'm running over here because, well, I didn't think to teleport, but that's okay because, you know, we can still talk when I'm running and not teleporting. But you can see, still got a lot of the corn stubble on the ground, some of the weeds are popping up, and I've been just shallow tilling this with a case disker that fits on the back of the 8 Series John Deere, and I really like it because I found, you know, some of the shallow diskers or tillage devices in the game, they actually don't act like shallow. They leave more of a seed bed than this. So, you know, to be as realistic as possible, again, I don't want to completely strip the soil of the organic material because I want it to kind of lay on top for the winter. We're going to get a lot of rain, snow, and now we've got the tile in now. And we've got the tile in now, but I just don't want a ton of erosion. That's why we're running the contour farming over in that main silage field. So I am going to run over one of these, though I know it. I've already almost done it as I've been tilling this field. I might need to put up some type of, I don't know, like an orange fence or something. I don't know. Let's hop in this bad boy and let's finish a little fall tillage on this field. You know, while we're tilling this, I'm just kind of talk to you a little about how we're playing the game. As I mentioned, we're farming the entire map, so we've got hundreds, almost pushing 1,000 acres of arable and grassland for our animals, pasture land. and I'm trying to just slow the game down, play the game, but bring you all along for the ride. So what I typically do is I throw up chapter markers that you can jump to other things in the video. If you don't want to sit here, and listen to a John Deere till this field, you don't have to. You're welcome to jump ahead or jump around however you want. I know for some viewers it's just kind of nice and almost therapeutic in a way to have the sound of the tractor and the tillage device or the implement that you're pulling just kind of on in the background. So for that, I'm not going to throw in like montages of music. I'm just going to play the game. I got to play the game to, well, be successful in what we're doing with this exact challenge. So we're 3 days in on November. We're playing 7-day months, so I've got to get corn down before December, because I have a feeling we're going to see snow, and then try like hell to get all these fields tilled before we get, frozen ground. I don't know if it's going to be possible or not. So I'm going to shut up. I'm just going to keep tilling this field. Again, we're in a 8 Series John Deere pulling a case disker. Alright, I got that one section of the field done back there. Final little part on this heavy terrain right here. Very steep slope. This is why you can see we needed the tile to be put in here. You might ask, why am I not hiring a helper to do this? Well, that's no fun. I mean, you certainly could, but, you know, again, I think my goal for this is to play the game like you would a traditional farmer, a real farmer. It's just me. Yeah, you could argue maybe Meg could be the helper that I hire, and I might do that for some things, but the reality is the men and women of farming spend hours upon hours in a tractor seat. This is what it's like. This is what it is. I'm doing this far faster than what would typically be done, but again, as close to realistic as I can in the game. You can actually see one of our paths over there that I've started cutting. Just taking I got a Massey Ferguson, just little compact tractor. Not a subcompact, it's just like a 4700 Massey with like a 2-meter wide mulcher on the back of it. Just really nice to run down the center of those paths and cut away any, the grass that's so tall. There's actually a real mower mod that I might investigate, and that's where you can turn it off and on, but actually cut down brush. So if you have bushes and other items on the ground that you've added through the game editor, through the map editor, it'll actually cut those down. Kind of curious about that, because that would be, again, a little more realistic. Beautiful evening, though, here in Meadowlands, Wisconsin. I just realized, though, that I have my time set to 0. I do that every now and again because I tend to get better performance, and I've also found that it doesn't crash the... I don't know, I'm still fighting that crashing problem. In fact, while I'm thinking about it, let's save right now. Okay, back. Farm Sim is there's a love-hate relationship with the game. When it's working really, really well and things are just happening smoothly, it's spectacular. But like with the stuttering and some of the performance issues, when that starts to happen, it can be so frustrating. And yeah, I'm not a computer tech. I'm not a modder. I'm really not technical when it comes to those types of things, so I don't know what it could be. I've tried to do everything I can, adjusting graphic settings, checking the logs, whatnot. The error that tends to pop up when the game does crash is an animal location error. So I'm wondering if it has something to do with some of the pastures that I have, and it typically happens right around the turn of the hour. So when you get to like 11:59 and then you hit noon, right around 12:01 you get the error. So I'm wondering if it has something to do with the location of where those animals are on the field, and an error that just throws the Mac into a kernel panic and it just crashes the game. But so far, so good, knocking on wood. The game's been solid, other than some of those performance hits that I'm seeing with the stuttering. Go in cab for a little bit here. This tractor has interactive controls as well. You can see all those little overlays, which are very cool. So you can like lower the implement, you can change the throttle, you can turn on the headlamps, the radio, everything. It's a very cool feature, and I've seen a lot of modders actually switching from simple IC, so that'd be simple interactive control, to interactive control. And again, I don't know the differences. I feel like interactive control is a little more sophisticated, maybe a little more taxing on a system, I don't know. But I like it over simple IC, and I will say I did have to delete my simple IC. I felt like there was potentially, maybe not a conflict, but there was a definite grumpiness going on when I had like two vehicles sitting side by side, one running simple IC and the other one running IC. Yeah. You know, all of this, and maybe someday I will be able to get into the world of an actual proper gaming PC. I don't know. Never say never. All right, we're finishing up this. This is only about a 20-acre field, 25-acre field right here. We'd already cut it. It had corn on it. Terrible yield off of it. It was like, in the game, it was showing like a 50% reduction in what we could have had. It's because I've done zero land management. I'm running, oh my gosh, why is my brain... It's not, what is it? It is, oh, if I hit this, it'll tell me right up here. This is the precision farming. There we go. It's a Sunday when I'm recording this, folks. It's been a long day. Precision farming. But my yields are terrible, and I didn't do any type of like nitrogen or lime. pHs are way off. So I did it kind of intentionally because I wanted to see what the difference was between just creating a field, because it's what we are in no man's land. There are no fields, or I guess there's one field in no man's land when you start. And we'll go into the map here, and we'll let it save for just a moment, and you can see that's our soil types. You can see all the fields we created. I actually don't have the soil map up there. Maybe I do. Is that loam? I don't know. That's a field we added on to. There's our pH. Let's see here. Soil information for our nitrogen levels. And then there's our yield. So you can see our yields were really terrible. Although a few green areas where I had grass planted. So I don't really know why that was so successful. Probably because I don't think I put manure down, but I might have. But this area right in here is where we've got a little better soil around the edges, and then on this grass field over here. But everything else is just a mess. We haven't planted or done anything on these. Well, I should say I've got this field up here to finish, but these fields out here have not been touched. So I think when we plant in the spring, it's going to really be important for us to do some proper soil management on these fields and see what the difference is from this year to next year. So again, really cool on this particular tractor. There's interactive controls, opening the door, and then hopping up here to close it. Just really nice touches. Just checked a couple of our messages, and I've got a request into the seed dealer because we've got to start thinking about seed. It's a little later in the evening now, but I still think we have some daylight left to head out to that final field. I've got all the equipment down there. I don't think the combine needed fuel, but I am going to grab this small service truck we've got in here. You can see all of our seed. It's what we bought earlier in the year. Nowhere near enough for what the amount of acres that we've got. So I've got a request in to get some more ordered. I don't know when the best time is going to be for that. It might be now. It might be, you know, we get a little closer to Christmas. But let's go ahead. We'll hop in the Ram here and head out to where the combine is. We can take some of these nice, new, freshly cut paths that I've been working on. See how far I got. I stopped like right there. Again, we we really do have probably miles and miles of paths. I'm trying to put paths in as I think about them, but really I'm done with kind of the map making part of this. So any additions that we do are going to be done together, and it's going to cost us money. Like, I would really love to put way along on that far tree line over there a nice access road that goes from back around to where we've got the equipment storage out around the main, I guess where I've got the beef cattle, around the back end of that field, just so we can get a little better access. Because right now, you know, I've got roads in certain areas, but to get all the way out to where we had wheat planted this year, you've got to get on Black Rock Road, head out to US 32, and that just takes a long time. But I would never bring the semis back here because this is actual dirt, and when the moisture content gets really high, we get some rain, you'll sink a semi to the axles and you will not get it out. So I just thought, again, while we're, the sun's kind of going down, this is our final field, final 40 acres. We take a little bit of the daylight that's left and hop in the old Case 9250 and cut some corn. I'll hop in. Let's get it fired up and let it get warmed up a little bit. And I do like to, I got this portable battery-powered blower. I like to get in here and just get the feeder house kind of cleaned out, get all the debris. Although there's not a ton of debris right now. We try and clean it out, when we're done for the day. But I would love to get a mod where you have, like, tons of chaff all over the place. I think there was at one time, but I don't know if it's still a viable mod or not. So we'll just kind of get in here, just get some of the areas cleaned out. I'd like to get that done. Okay, there we go. Very nice. There we go. It just feels a little nicer to have everything kind of cleaned out. And let's go over. We'll fire up the. Just going to get the cart fired up as well, because I'm not going to really be running a cart. It's just me, but I do like to have the lights on so that I can see where it's at, and just to know that the engine's warmed up and I can move it whenever I need to, so we're not putting a heavy load on a cold motor. Never good for them. All right, let's chop some corn. Let's do this. Beautiful fall evening here in Wisconsin. This is the last field for Harvest 2023. Will we have any better yields? I just turned the combine off. That was like I was going for this really, dramatic about to cut the final field, and I wanted to, turn it on, but I turned everything off. All right, here we go. And we'll make a lap around the outer headlands. Maybe someday I can get row crops installed on this map. I've noticed a lot of modders putting out maps that are row crop ready or row crop activated. Gonna have to check those out. If No Man's Land ever gets row crops, that would be awesome. So right now things are looking okay. 170 bushels an acre. That's right up there with the highest we've had so far. We were in the 140s, closer to the main shop on that one field. But I'm looking over in the lower left-hand corner in the actual yield monitor, and we're in the red and orange. So we're definitely getting penalized for the lack of proper soil management. And you probably haven't seen this area of the farm a whole lot, because when I started this series, I had already planted all the land. And yes, I did actually go in and plant all of the land. That's the one thing about No Man's Land. There's no preset field, so you can't even use easy dev control to go in and set the field fruit. You've actually got to plant the fields yourself after you make them. So I put seed down on these fields and they grew. But this is kind of the outer boundary of the farm. I've just got a fence to the left. It's very, very hilly terrain. I don't think I would be able to really do anything up there. I'd love to. I wish we could get some more arable land up there, but I just don't know how realistic it would be. Like, that's a heck of a slope if we turn to my left. Well, I guess it's easier to see here. I think we'd be scooching down that field sideways in the combine, drifting the 9250. And you can see over on the left, we've got some bales out in the field. I need to actually get those up. Those are square bales. Having them sit on the ground like that, they are just going to wick up moisture. Maybe we'll try that new Kenworth on the bale trailer tomorrow, or, I'm not going to have enough time to do it tonight. But we got to get those up. And I don't know if we're going to make it all the way around. Realistically, we wouldn't make it all the way around. This has just got a very large hopper in it. But I don't think we're going to make it all the way around the headlands on one pass before needing the grain cart. And for those that have, been through the first few episodes of this challenge, we know that I am running everything through the dryer. We'll have to see if, profit-wise, the cost of propane, which we do have to buy from the store in town, is worth the higher price per bushel of dry corn. I like the idea of using the dryer for realism, pulling this off the field. This would be pretty wet. It's been a wet fall here in Wisconsin, so Now, I think you realistically would need to use a dryer, but I don't know what the cost benefit will be compared between, you know, just wet corn versus dry corn. You know, we might actually make it around. That's impressive. So a little over 650 bushels in the bin, or in the hopper. 168's our average right now. I'm using Thundar's conversion from liters to bushels, and I'm also using Thundar's yield monitor that he's got. A really cool mod. It is Mac or PC only, but it is neat, and I do highly suggest you give it a try. Look at that. We made it almost perfectly around to the grain cart in one pass. And I think what we might do this evening is let's just, let's keep cutting. We'll fill the cart up once. It's getting a little late. Once we get the cart full, we'll go ahead and park the combine, and we'll take the cart up to the dryer, and then maybe call it an evening. Again, we're doing this, trying to do this as linear and as realistic as possible. So there's going to be plenty of other times, plenty of other things to do here on the farm. And I didn't even check. Yeah, I guess we're at a half a tank of fuel. I'm not using def, so this machine would run def, but I don't have the def mod downloaded. I guess I could do that to add even more, but I really hate def. I feel like I actually feel like I had issues. Like, the def mod that was available had bugs in it. So not only in real life do people hate def, but in the virtual simulator world, I hate def too, because it just doesn't work. Alright, so there's the headlands cut. Now let's find the rows and properly go up the row here. Not run into my Dodge. Yeah, I see this will work. Let's just cut straight up here. Beautiful. So these are fairly long runs here, about 30% full in the hopper. We'll probably do a down and back and have to dump. Yeah, if I do the math on that, I don't think we would be able to go down, back, down, back. And that's tough if you're, running a farm on your own. Curious if any viewers out there run a farm like that. That would be extremely difficult. Got to have good help on your farm. Got to have a good cart operator. We always make fun of the cart operators, but, you know, by golly, they are absolutely a necessity on a farm. I love watching some of the YouTubers that are real farmers and seeing their sons and daughters get some interest in the equipment and the operation of the farms, and to see them, you know, start driving cart. I think that's really, really cool. It's just so great to have, you know, a family operation and generations upon generations running a farm. Bushels have gone down just a little bit, 167 bushels an acre. We were seeing 170. I guess that's not really anything to worry about, but I'll be curious to see what our total number of kernels we have for this year. We're pretty much going to have it doubled for next year, because when we started this challenge, I only had half the map ready to plant. And the other half was created as we were actually playing the game. I hate to have to do it, but yeah, you know, we're going to have to dump at 60%. We would make it down, we would not make it back. And I could use, I guess, some of the auto drive courses that that are out there. I've watched some really good creators set those up where you've got, you know, the cart can follow the combine, and I just haven't done it. I'm, again, not smart enough to get it done. All right, do another down and back. We'll see. You got a 2,200 bushel cart. We'll see how much more we can get in it. We'll just fill the cart up. Well, and you saw it, folks. Just like that, I forgot to save, and it got me. Game crashed. That's okay, though. We got to save. But I'm not going to bore you with going back out there and continuing to cut. We've got enough in this cart right now. I've got over almost 1,300 bushels. It's getting late. Let's go ahead and just take this back, and we'll finish up the rest of that field tomorrow. And you can see the dairy cattle out on the right in that open pasture. We've got close to 400 head of dairy, well, probably 500 head of dairy. Kind of spread out, some of that monoslope, some of the pasture. We're going to probably move them in as we start seeing snow in the forecast. Just get them inside. The beef cattle should be okay outside. We really don't have any other locations for them. They'll be fine. We'll feed them hay, you know, daily, because they're just not going to be able to eat grass off the fields. It will be interesting, though, if we can keep our water from freezing. I do not have heaters on those tanks. I'm not even aware of any type of mod that would have a water heater on it. But we'll have to make sure we keep those troughs filled during the very, very cold winter months. And coming up here to the bin site, it looks like, did I leave the peat? Yeah, the peat is there. Okay, that's fine. Let me hop out and let me pull this cart up to an area where I can pull the peat under. There's no way this Demco would be able to dump directly into the pit. It's just way too wide. And I'm not a good enough driver to, like, you know, back it in there. Not going to happen. So let's just put it right here. I'll go ahead and pull the auger out, and then I'll just go grab the peat. Look at that sunset. So pretty. This is just beautiful. That's what fall is all about. It's kind of sad all the leaves will be off the trees at some point, and we'll have, you know, snow on the ground. But snow's pretty, too. Although I will say the days get a lot shorter as we get into the winter months, and that really can get you. You think you've got enough time to work, and you don't. See if I'm good enough to make that turn without taking out our fence, and I did. Excellent. We'll pull over here. We should be able to easily fit all of the grain, the corn that's in this Demco, into this trailer if I actually line it up properly with the auger. There we go. There we go. What is that? 1,200, 1,300 bushels. Take it over to the pit. We'll see how the dryer's doing here real fast. We've got plenty of propane left. We've gone through 1/5 of our propane, just about. We've got over... Why isn't that number going up? That's interesting. I was dumping corn into that, but the number wasn't going up. Why isn't it running? Let's take a look. Am I missing something? Corn dryer has product. It's got dried corn. And it's active. Maybe it only runs during certain times of day. That's possible. Nope, it says it's running. Now, this could be a minor bug. Not a big deal. I'm sure we'll be okay. Let's go ahead and shut this truck down. And I probably should go turn off the cart as well, because it's sitting over here idling. It's been idling for a while, just using diesel. But this is another day here on the farm. Beautiful, beautiful fall. We've not had really any major storms come through. It's such a blessing. I have a feeling we might see some pretty bad snow this year. If harvest is fairly easy, winter may be fairly rough. That's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for coming along for the ride as we farm the entire map here in Wisconsin. We're just about done with corn, maybe another 20 acres to finish, and then harvest 2023 will be done. We'll do that tomorrow, or maybe Tuesday, right here on the farm with the Stovers. We'll see you next time.